factional chairman saying that the defection to ADC is null and void because the procedure was not followed. The party's constitution was not followed. Let me get your take on this.
Well, first of all, I want to say, from speaking from the Labour perspective, it really pains the heart to see His Excellency Peter Obi leaving Labour Party to any other party. And we must commend Peter Obi because Peter Obi energized a lot of people, the youth, those who are different, who are not really interested in politics, to come into politics, to take politics and governance seriously. Peter Obi also motivated a lot of people to run that would not have had the opportunity to run, and some of them did win their seats. So we must give him credit. I personally felt like whatever the situation he had with Labour Party was resolvable. It did not need to leave the party to go and join ADC. So what is unique about this? Really nothing unique. But the only question for me, even though I love Peter Obi and I have no personal grudge against him leaving Labour Party, I will still remain faithful to the party, is that it's where he's going to join. Like they say, my mom used to say, as well, and this is a common phrase, show me your friends, I will tell you who you are. Peter Obi is now joining with El-Rufai in ADC, who will know who he is, what he has said with his own mouth. Peter Obi's, who 2015, how the country to help to destabilize the government, and how he destroyed Kaduna and allowed Kaduna Christian to almost be wiped out. That's who El-Rufai is. And again, talking about Atiku, Atiku is another man that during his time as a vice president, he liquidated all the federal government assets, sold it to a friend. Even 2019, 2023, when he ran, he said he will even do more. That we see it failed in all aspects. Rotimi Amechi, his greatest success of 8 years as a minister was to build the biggest railway station in Niger, in Niger Republic. Those are the people he's going to associate with, even though he's a credible man, an upright man. But show me your friends. So I will not begrudge him from leaving Labour Party, but Labour Party is a party that have an identity. Papa, Mama, Pikin, that stood for something, that has a principle that is what we need. So his message tied down and fit perfectly well with Labour Party. The interest of the common man, the interest of the common woman, and the interest of the child, of the children. It fit very well into Labour Party. His vision of how Nigeria should work is what is embedded in the constitution of Labour Party, unlike any other party. So him going to ADC, it really boggles the mind. But like I said, we have to I pray for him, and we wish him all the success and peace, whatever reason he joined ADC. But I'm very disappointed, and Labour should take full accountability for this. I'm very disappointed the way the matter has been handled, that he left, but we must acknowledge his input in Labour Party, in his input in the politics of Nigeria. But personally, I hope he has stayed. I don't know. Now the doors is open for people in a Labour Party. Maybe I might just run for president now, since Peter Obi is no longer there. Thank you.
Of course, that's your right. That's your inalienable right, Chief Daniel Martin Akpoboka. But let me get to Christopher Ojekere. The concern is that the coming former defection of Peter Obi, because he said he's joining the APC, is a formalization.
ADC.
Yes, I mean, sorry, ADC, he's joining the ADC is a formalization, yeah? Chris, talk to me about what this means for the ADC, especially when you have the likes of former Vice President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, who is a serial presidential contestant. And then you have the likes of Nasir El-Rufai, who is one of the most controversial politicians we have in the country right now, whom some say he left the APC to join the ADC after his attempt to join the SDP failed, largely because he was rejected as a minister because of security concerns around his person. All of these people are coming together. You also have the likes of David Mark. Are we not, gravitating towards an implosion, political implosion in the party, with the likes of Atiku saying they are not standing down for anybody, and they'll be also saying he is going to contest for the presidential ticket in that party. We just saw that statement from his aide, today. Chris.
Yeah, we are very happy that there's so much interest in the ADC, as it should be, and coming from all walks of life in Nigeria and from all Nigerians. That's quite interesting, and we're happy to hear that. I need for you to locate these issues in context. There are only two issues in all of the things that have been said. And those two issues are, one, are Nigerians beginning to see patriotic Nigerians who love this country and wants to rescue this country from a one-party state, from fascism, from the destruction of our judiciary, the destruction of our electoral systems, the destruction of our economy, from insecurity, and from unbearable, unrelieved tax increases and tariffs increases? The answer is yes. And the people who are gathering together to do that, and Nigerians who have seen the danger, the catastrophe that is in view, the cataclysmic situation that is in view, if Democrats, patriots, lovers of Nigerians don't come together to overthrow this system that is leading us there. The system, I mean, is the APC and the current government. That is cheering news. Every other thing that you have said are effects of this core issue. The core issue is where our focus would be. So the ADC is tied together by a common principle, and the principle is rescuing Nigeria by means of restoration of our democracy. Then the second thing, I'm happy that Honorable John Yakubu gets the paradigm very well. He's speaking about the fact that governance should be about development. The ideology that Obi is preaching has not bettered in all those other parties where he is and where he was. And that is why, having seen that Atiku Abubakar from the PDP, El-Rufai from the APC, Amechi from the APC, several others from ABGA and the others have been able to sustain a party.
I need to pause you now. Chris, just a moment. Chris, I need to pause you now for the news headlines, and then we'll be back with you in just a moment. Please stay. Of course, we just saw a quotable quote from Peter Obi a few seconds ago that prosperity will not come by taxing poverty. That's very, very profound. But let me get back to Christopher Ojekere to quickly anchor the point about the coming of these political bigwigs converging in the ADC and its implication for the race for 2027.
So the ADC is like a football team that has gone to the market to spend valuable money to get in the best players from across the world, this time across Nigeria. So we have strikers, we have defense, we have good midfielders, we have wingers. They are all now in ADC, and now driven by certain policy ideology, like John Yakubu started to talk about, and which Akwemoka referred to. For instance, Akwemoka has a problem with privatizing our national assets. But if you look at the cesspool of corruption that the NNPC is and has been, you would wonder whether you would not prefer the option of privatizing the NNPC. The NNPC have run us aground, if you have been following. Now, you would think of how much could have been saved if in 2013, Atiku had this way and the NNPC is privatized. Now, you've just quoted again, Sonny, another policy option to taxation that Obi just quoted. So these are the kind of ideas that are pulling to give Nigeria a new direction. The fact that we think that they are United States of America. and they'll be able to convert that kind of variety into strength. That is what ADC will do. The fact that ADC has been held together for over a year now, under the able management and supervision of David Mark, who is a veteran administrator who saved this country in the time a cabal was supposed to disintegrate this country. David Mark came up with the doctrine of necessity and held this country together. It should be very heartwarming that David Mark is heading the ADC. So we have people of experience who are coming from experience. And because they are coming from experience and they know how we have got to the cliff edge and have almost tumbled over by the so-called Emilocon, they are going to be very careful, as they are being careful now, on how to give us a sustainable nation via the instrumentality of their political party when we come into power in 2027.
The coming of Peter Obi into the ADC is not avoided because due process was not followed. It ought to go through the world, but we saw from the report that his admittance into the ADC was at the party zonal office. What do you make of this factional disposition to this Obi's coming to ADC?
In ADC, if you are not a member of ADC, you cannot be referred to as faction. The voice that is speaking, the voice of Esau, of Jacob, and the hand of Esau that is speaking, is not a member of the ADC. The ADC knows its members. We will begin to respond to such foolishness when it happens to happen, when it happens that it comes from our member. So you are asking me to respond to an unknown quantity to the ADC. We don't know who is.
I just want to admonish that we should be very civil in our language because this is a public space and we're reaching millions of people across the world. I'll come back to you in just a moment, Chris Ojeke, but let me come back to you, John. Now, because some say the body language of the PDP seems to suggest that they probably will eventually merge forces with the ADC when the time comes. But we know already majority of the bigwigs in the ADC, Atiku, El-Rufai, Amaechi, and now Peter Obi and Nasir El-Rufai, they all intend to have a go at the presidency. What does this mean? What's the implication of all of this?
Well, let me quickly say this. Though I'm not a member of the ADC as of today, I'm not a member of the ADC, I think this issue of the faction you're talking about should be downplayed. Because as of today, the INEC have a recognized national school of ADC. There's no ambiguity about that. So when you come on air and you begin to quote of a man who is claiming to be a factional leader of another group of ADC, like I said, I'm not a member. Take that, just oppose that with my party, the PDP today, where INEC had refused to enlist the just recently elected national leader because they felt that there was a problem and there's a case in court and until that is resolved, they will not enlist them. So when you start talking about having factions in the ADC, I think we should not create something.
No, we're not creating. No, we're not. You see, this is where the challenge. Just hold on. This is where the challenge is. The media has a responsibility to give everybody a fair hearing, an opportunity to be heard and to be seen. It's not us. It's not us. So you, the politician, hold on just a moment. You, the politician, have a responsibility to put your house in order rather than blaming the media for reporting accurately what the issues are. We need to establish that. No, we need to establish that. You stay on course, Yakubu.
But let me say this. There's nothing accurate about that.
Yes.
Because as of today, there is a national ESCO as recognized by INEC.
Yes.
It is only when INEC is saying that there is a faction in the political party that the media can come out to say, yes, this is the.
So when a man comes and makes a claim,
we have a responsibility. Man can come out on the street and make a claim and take that to the studio.
Hold on.
No,
hold on. When a man comes out to make a claim,
yes,
we have a responsibility to report it.
So what?
In reporting it,
so if I
we are not. Hold on.
That I'm a
we will give you the opportunity to vocalize your views and your perspective. That's what happened. That story that I just reported now.
Yes.
It's on the Punch.
No, you are missing my point. It
No,
can
you
be
are,
anywhere.
it's on the Punch. So what I'm saying is that, you see, we have, just hold on. Hold on. That is exactly what we are doing. But in most cases, the average politician misinterprets the role of the media. They want us to just pander to their whims and caprices. That is not what the media is meant for. Yes.
I'll repeat that example. That's today. My party had the.
That's why I said you should stay on call so that we can save time.
Yes, that have not been recognized.
Yes.
It's unlike ADC that have its national ESCO headed by Davy Man has fully recognized.
Yes.
So if a man is shouting from an obscure village and calling himself as the national chairman, all you need to do as the conventional media house is to go to check the website of INEC.
No, hold on. Let me clear. Just hold on, John. Let me clear you on something because we are in public space.
Okay.
Even if INEC has cleared a particular ESCO, and somebody comes out to speak otherwise, we have a duty and a responsibility. Hold on now. We have a duty and a responsibility to air that view. It is not our responsibility to take position. We have a responsibility to air all the sides of the issue so that the public will be aware. Okay. Yeah, so that is our responsibility.
All I need to do is to go to somewhere, somehow, and
we will report it. We will report it. If you do that, we will report it.
Okay, thank you. Let's come back to who is today is preaching the gospel of hope.
Yeah.
And that is why you see, that is the basic reason that every person, every known good person in this country is gravitating towards that. And he just mentioned, Jay just mentioned something, and I want to put a little correction to that. Atiku and Obasanjo actually sold NNPC in 2006 at the point that they were leaving to Dangote and all that, so that productivity could be enhanced. But what did we do? What did Nigerian politicians, what did they do? Top civil servant. Immediately, the moment Yar'Adua came on board, they cried to high heaven, and Dangote said, "Please give me my money," and government paid back. Today, those refineries, because I set the refinery in Port Harcourt in 1992-93, those refineries as are today, over 20 billion have been spent in those refineries, and they are dead. Now, what do we have to do? Why do we have to cry over that? A man is saying, if this country must be prosperous, I just want you to know that the gospel of St. Peter Obi, the political gospel, as to how to revive this nation, is what is interesting to the people of this country. Because you cannot be preaching of gospel of hope to the people, and when you are making them hopeless, you cannot be stealing from them to enhance yourself and be telling them to wait for tomorrow. That is what Obi is saying. Don't steal from the people to enrich yourself. Don't steal from the people to ride the best cars in the world. Don't steal from the people to make yourself comfortable. What you must first of all do is to make the people comfortable before you cannot begin to talk about yourself. Sonny, do you enjoy yourself to the detriment of your children? Rather than spending money to send them to school and making sure that they become who you think they should become, do you now go to beer parlor and begin to spend those monies, and at the end of the day you are telling your children who are not of age to be on their own? That is the gospel of Peter Obi. And I am not in ADC today, but if a man is saying that productivity will save this nation, and I believe that, because I haven't spent just about 2 years and 10 months as the council chairman, I realized, and I am happy about it, that going back memory lane, 16 years after, I think I'm pointing to about 8th road that we assaulted. Thereafter, Sonny Duke, go back to my local government and point to another road that I've been done 50 years after, even when they have more money. And that is why everybody is listening to Peter Obi and saying, look, if we have a good leader, my friend from the UK just mentioned about the persons that are following. No, once we have a good leader in this country, our problem have been leadership. And what have we been doing in this nation is that the little we have, we're using it to spend it on our leaders. I will tell you this before you probably will begin to say, let's go to it. Now, when Buhari came in, this idea of 4+4, 4 years, 8 years, a man that we have, what Peter Obi is saying or what others are saying, that you campaign for 4 years, it is only in Nigeria. It is only politics we play. Politicians are not ready for any other thing. Once a man is elected today, they'll start telling you he has another 4 years. The man has not done 6 months. And that is the basic problem, because they have reduced everything to politics.
Okay.
And if we must move away from that, if a man is elected for 4 years, before we begin to politic and begin to speak about every other thing, that man must show us his report card. But the problem we have with politicians across board, except the man who today has come out again, he's coming out again to say, look, let's begin to lead this nation. Once a man campaign for 4 years, like Donald Trump is doing, do your 4 years. I think psychophancy should stop, most especially even done at the highest level now. It is now at the level of governors and ministers and others, senators turning themselves into psychophants. Don't forget in 1980, when the money for Bendel State was not being released by the presidency under MPN, under Shehu Shagari, what did Ambrosadi do? Rather than becoming a psychophant that we have today, he went to court and said, look, this money belongs to Bendel State. You won, and at the end of the day, he won. But the dangerous aspect we are having in politics today now, that senators, House of Rep, elected senators, House of Rep members, governors have turned themselves to psychophants, all done because of what they think they want to steal from the people.
Okay, let me pause you there. Let's quickly link up with Chief Daniel Matthew Ahomoha. Obi is known to be very frugal when it comes to monies, funds, resources, and stuff like that as it relates to politics. I mean, he came up with the slogan, he has no shinshi to give. Now, in a party like ADC, where he's not into, you have the likes of Atiku. And I hear people say this a lot, that, well, if the ADC were to do a primaries today, Atiku most likely would be ahead of others. What does, I mean, what is the import of these against the background of some of the philosophies and ideologies that Obi has to offer this country? Will the personality of Obi be able to manifest under the leadership of a man like Atiku Abubakar, whom some have criticized in several ways in terms of corruption issues and all of that, even though we haven't really seen him be prosecuted as such? Yes, Chief.
First of all, I want to say, my senior wine with in the studio there, it seems like he might migrate to ADC soon, the way he speaks eloquently about Peter Obi in ADC. Just hold me along. Maybe we will go together, because I feel like I've been preached to about the wonderfulness of Peter Obi moving and what it stands for. What it stands for is really the next question that my dear brother Sonny just asked for. What Peter Obi stands for, is it compatible with ADC as of present and being the kind of characters that are in ADC? Atiku, for instance, is a very good person in winning the primary, because it will porous the whole system, corrupt it to the T. But so far so good, he has not been able to translate that corrupt primary win victory to any general election. And if Atiku is in there and you're able to find a parity with Atiku, you see, Obi is a man of integrity based on the campaign of 2023, and everything he has said has serious value to it. I mean, I'm not going to try go back to his days in when he was a governor. You judge him as per what he wants to do for you for tomorrow, not what he has done yesterday. But based on what he's saying he wants to do and what he's projecting to do, you have people in ADC right now that they are the obstacle to everything Obi said he wants to do in the past, and they've not come up with anything different. What is their view about the tax reformation? What is the view about the education policy of the current administration? What's the tax about the massive borrowing and investment at the same time by the current administration? What does the party stand for? You see, it's not just joining ADC because that's another vehicle. It's a value, and the people. So show me your friends that tell you who you are. And the people you surround yourself with determine the value which you project. And that's my only concern. I believe in Peter Obi, honestly. I have my misgivings. And him moving to ADC breaks my heart. A part of me feel like I should move with him, as my senior Owine is preaching about it. And I'm like, yeah, you're saying everything I believe. But that's me believing in Peter Obi. The party's another thing. So I'm not convinced that it's the right fit for him. But otherwise, the next few days we will know. And we will see if he can beat Atiku in the primary. If Atiku thinks that is going to compete Peter Obi will not be on a ballot come 2027 because it will not beat Atiku in primary. And if Atiku and what's Rotimi Amici most likely combine energy, which that's going to happen, and then Peter Obi will not be on ballot come 2027. And it will be a great loss to Nigeria if Peter Obi is not on ballot come 2027. That's my only worries and concern. Because Atiku will not back down for him. Atiku is about 88 years old. If he doesn't go now, it's going to take him another, God knows, another 6 years, thereabout. Yes, another 5 to 6 years for him to even be considered. By that time, he's close to 90 years old. So this is his last foray to try. And if that's for him to win the ticket, not necessarily win the presidency.
All right, Chief Dan Amachi, let me pause you there. I'll come back to you if we still have the time. But let's get Chris to comment on the prospect of the ADC in the 2027 election against the power of incumbency with the political czar himself in the saddle now, talking about Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What's your take on this, Chris?
All right. First of all, let me reiterate that APC will not drive our narrative, because I noticed that APC's propaganda has affected Akwemoka so much so that he now suffers from AAS, Atiku Abubakar syndrome. It was a similar thing that was happening to Americans who didn't see behind the curtain in America when Donald Trump was contesting. And then they were suffering from the DTS, Donald Trump syndrome. I can assure Akwemoka that there is no paper anywhere indicting Atiku or having any paper or any evidence before any court of competent jurisdiction in Nigeria that proves that Atiku is corrupt. That is a propaganda that was well spread and that is still being sustained. Atiku was the vice president to Obasanjo, the best regime we have ever had since 1999 democracy. That's the regime that ended all our debt, and Atiku was the head of the economic team that introduced the information technology we have today, whereby we can use GSM and all other internet facilities, that directed us to begin to privatize our...
Hello, Kola, good morning. Good morning, Kola. What's your name?
Good morning. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. You've got 1 minute. Go straight to the point, please.
My name is Solomon Ataga. Very simple.
Yeah.
You see, the issue of Obi coming to ADC, to me, is a welcome one. Since Labour have now become a party, Labour and PDP have now become a party who never mean progress for the people, where some people, individuals, have been the ones dragging the party. I believe if a party has a crisis, if you mean well for the party, like for some people now, the party make them local government chairman and governor to where they are today, and they feel destroying the party. They cannot come together. What do we do? Like to have a candidate that can defeat the president. Moving to APC, and you people saying about Atiku. Atiku have not become the EFCC one day. Say they are inviting him for the corruption crisis. We keep on saying he's corrupt, he's corrupt. And those in the government today, they are more corrupt than Atiku. So all we believe is a candidate. If the ADC...
All right, I'll stop you there, Solomon Ataga. Our studio number is 08077770300. That number, let's get your take on our conversation today on policies today on independent television and radio. Dial the number now. Hello, caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning, caller. Go ahead with your contribution.
Yes, sir. Yes. We are very happy that ADC has started because of Wike and the presidency. They are one of the people that want to destroy PDP. But what we want to say now is that the civil society, the Nigerians, we should rise up to see that election transmission of results, electronic transmission of results. Because if we don't do that, even though everybody votes for Peter Obi again, we know what they do. We cannot be saying it on air. We know that they are bringing machine to change it. So let it be electronic transmission of results live from the polling booth. So that is what the people should be shouting for now. Because if we don't do it, all the effort will be wasted.
Okay, well, I got your call and contribution. One last call. before we call it a wrap quickly. 08077770300. Good morning, caller. Tell us your name and where you're calling from, and go ahead with your contribution. Okay, we have a bit of... okay, we got you now. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling us from? Yeah, good morning. What's your name? You're our last caller on the show. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, it's a welcome to America for coming together for a political party.
Okay.
Because Labour have been destroyed by Papa through the power, those in power. We they destroy PDP. Now, even SDP, AD, all to come together. And let them become, this is what they will become. With the masses, it's a fight between the masses and the politicians for coming election. Coming together for a political party to welcome development. Thank you.
All right, let me get a final take, John. Last one.
You can see that Obi is being discussed. It was out, and that is the present position of this country. Because we're looking for redemption. The people are saying, look, there should be a leader to redeem this nation, and that leader must not be the person that will now begin to serve as king of God. What I said at the beginning of the sometimes during this program is that look, this syndrome of 8 years, 4 plus 4, 8 years, should be discarded. They used it, they sold it to us during Buhari. And for 8 years, this country was stagnated. And it is the same APC. I'm not in any way castigating APC, but it's the same party that is saying, no, Buhari did not do anything. But 4 years after Buhari tenure, Nigerians wanted to change him, but they refused. Like the last caller said, all we need in this country now is transparency in our electoral process.
Okay.
So that individuals can vote and their vote will.
All right, Chief Daniel Matthew, one last word on the program today. Final take.
Well, we keep alive, regardless whatever Peter Obi is. Peter Obi have changed the landscape of politics and politicking in Nigeria. As such, we should respect him. I will urge all Labour Party people not to speak ill of him or discredit or say anything negative of Peter Obi. He's a fine gentleman. And it's basically brought a lot of good things into politics, a lot of thinking and looking at things differently and positively. I personally supported him in 2003. I really did not like the way how things ended up while he was in Labour Party. But having said that, this is what Peter Obi have done. He has energized Nigerians and the Nigerians.
Thank you. Let me get you your take, Chris Ojekere, your final take, please.
I think it is clear to everybody now that the ADC did the right thing by giving Nigerians a neutral platform where all lovers of democracy can converge and ensure that we restore Nigeria back to democracy and from the hand of this oppressive fascism that Nigeria is threatened with by the current regime.
All right, gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for your time on the program Politics Today on independent television and radio. John Yakubu, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And Christopher Ojekere, thank you for coming. And of course, Chief Daniel Matthew Akwamoka, thank you for joining us always on the program.
It's a great honor. Thank you so much.
Okay, that's our package for today on Politics Today on independent television and radio. We hope you had a great time with us. Be sure to join us next week, Saturday. The responsibility of making Nigeria a better place for us all to live in is collective. That means we all have a role to play, and we must play that role effectively, efficiently, without fear of favor, no matter whose ox is God. That's the only way we can move this country forward. I'm Sonny Duke Okosun, thanking you for staying with us. Once again, Happy New Year, and bye for now.
ITV, certainly the best.
ITV, certainly the best. Oh, my son, my dear. You say, oh, my dear. Oh, we're not here. Is that where I live? You're not over. Yes. You're not doing so much. Yes, my dear. Where's it happening? Where's it happening? Oh, it's not here. Where's it? What's my dear? Is it? Comment c'est papa que voici quoi voici
ça m'a toqué
Wayagi makpome samane Wayagi makpome samane
The Esama of Benin Kingdom thanked the new Edion for visiting him and advised them to always abide by the rules and regulations of their new positions. The Esama urged them to indulge in what will continue to bring development and progress to the community.
When I say it's your Edion, I wait to us and I know what I've ever
said. Papa.
Caliban was in a cocoa, no, we said, who paid you? Who paid you?
Papa.
Eko mwana sewa. Ewa ya lote nete dirwe asewa maboma. Awe uwe dine. Ejo uwe. Ejo na wele. Ejo na kulupe. Ejo na mluya kwa ewa. Bawe kwa ba. Ojo uwe. Kaja de nena ya de wuyi wa wi ade wona mo no ma se lo kai
ITV, certainly the best.